Good morning and welcome to day 17 of our daily Bible studies. We are still looking at disaster stories and natural wonders in the Bible, and today we've reached the story that is told in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verses 11 to 17. It is the occasion when Elijah met God, and the setting for that meeting was an earthquake. Yahweh's word came to him, to Elijah. Go out of the cave and stand on the mountain in front of Yahweh. And look, Yahweh did pass by. And a great and mighty wind tore the mountains and broke the stones in pieces before Yahweh. But Yahweh was not in the wind. After the wind there was an earthquake, but Yahweh was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake there passed a fire, but Yahweh was not in the fire. After the fire there was a still, small voice, a sound of utter silence. When Elijah heard it, he wrapped his face in his coat and stood outside at the cave's entrance. And listen, a voice came to him and said, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" This earthquake put fire into the belly of the prophet Elijah, whose saga takes up a huge chunk of the first book of Kings. The stories form a single unit which shows very little sign of having been interfered with by the final editors of these books. These tales are set at a time when there was a serious threat to the worship of Yahweh, the God of Israel, from his rival pagan god, the Phoenician Baal or Lord, named Melkart. The lively and expansive Phoenician culture was threatening to swamp the Israelite culture, and later in the year we shall read more of the events recorded in this saga. By this point in his epic tale, Elijah feels alone and depressed because his efforts to persuade the people to follow Yahweh and not Melkart had up to this point been unsuccessful, and he fled in fear of his enemy, Queen Jezebel, who wanted him dead. Sustained by food and drink provided by God, Elijah undertook the very long trek to the mountain of Sinai, to where Moses had met God. Elijah had gone to that sacred place to seek strength and guidance. There up on the mountain, hiding in a cave, he told God that as far as he was aware, he was the only believer left, and that there was a price on his head. God told him to stand at the mouth of the cave, and our reading is a description of what Elijah experienced there. What is described might well be the phenomena associated with an earthquake. Such movements are not infrequent in a geologically active region such as Sinai. He interpreted what happened as a sign of Yahweh's strength, all the more powerful because it was revealed not in the noise and the movements of the earth, but in the whisper that followed, a whisper that stayed with him. Now he was clear, he had a mission. He was to anoint a new king, Jehu, for the northern kingdom of Israel, and a new leader for Syria, Hazael. Then he was to assure his own succession by commissioning Elisha as his assistant and successor. It sometimes takes earth-shattering events to cause humans to re-evaluate their lives, as we have seen in our own lifetimes when inoffensive workers become war heroes in the face of tyranny. Having lived through this earthquake, Elijah became strong again and was able to influence the political future of his region and put fresh heart into those whose faith in God was waning. So that's today. Tomorrow, on day 18, we're going to look at an occasion when the River Jordan dried up. We'll find out about that tomorrow. See you then.